Hi, this is Bobby Whitetecker. This is my teaching concepts of secondary physical education final project, in which I'm going to reflect on my lesson and all the feedback I received from Dr. Dixon and my peers. So, start off with a reflection on my teaching experience. Discussing what went well in my lesson. First, I don't want to go over what went well first. I'd feel more or less that let's look at it an overview in general. I definitely gonna organize things better. The main problem I had was when I went into it, I remember asking Dr. Dixon, I said, like, what exactly do I need to do? How much time do I have? Because the lesson was I planned on doing man defense, zone defense, and passing. I'm kind of combining all those things, but the amount of time I had, I couldn't really go over all that. So I really had to improvise here, which is a common thing you have to do as a teacher. Sometimes you're not going to have as much time. You have to improvise. So I feel like if I really knew exactly what I was going to do, my lesson would have went a lot better. But for the fact that I did improvise, I do think that overall, I was able to show what a zone defense was. I think my the live gameplay was good. I remember one thing that I really liked that I saw was at one point someone made like a really good defensive play, and I stopped and I said like, oh, that's actually exactly what you should be doing in a zone defense. Guarding your zone and stopping the ball, making a play. And the fact that I was able to combine both passing and zone defense, I think that was pretty good. Challenges I faced. Well, honestly, the worst thing was that we had 11 people. If we had 10 people, the lesson would have won a lot easier. But you gotta, be ready for that kind of stuff as a teacher. And yeah. Other challenges. I really had to improvise for this one because I was going into it thinking I was gonna go over man, zone, and the passing, and then I decided, all right before I'm just gonna do zone and passing, mainly focusing on zone defense. And then when it comes to how the semester, the learning impacted my teaching, we really did learn a lot throughout this class, a lot of really useful stuff. Like the one really great thing I remember us learning when it comes to lessons and objectives was the ABCD. You have the actor, behavior, condition, and degree. So obviously the actor is always going to be the student. Behavior, what are they doing? So in this, either passing the ball, playing to a defense, and then the degree would be like a live games kind of setting or a practice setting. And then degree, I don't know if I really exactly went over the degree in my lesson, but just that was just one thing I remember you really went over that was effective. Everything you really went over, I feel, was very effective. Just, you taught us really how to break down, make a lesson the best way possible. How, use the standards, objectives, making sure that you have clear objectives, knowing what standards you're going into, not just writing a lesson and then going back and then try to figure out this stuff. Sorry, my long hair is always messing with me. Looks goofy. But all right, so just reflecting on my teaching experience, that's really everything. I just overall really was improvising, but I still feel like I did a solid job, showing the zone defense, incorporating those, we did bounce pass, chest pass, overhead pass. I said, those are three main types of passes in basketball. You guys are going to use those in the drill. I think the live gameplay was really good. Definitely, we could have got more reps in and all for sure. Summarizing feedback from Dr. Dixon. I mean, pretty much everything I said, I think you kind of went over. Um, Trying to think real quick because this was like a couple weeks ago. But I mean, I feel like everything I just kind of went over was like things you brought up when you were giving the feedback. So I think I remember skill cues. I think I really didn't include the skill cues you said. I'll think more, but obviously I had all the feedback from my peers, and sometimes it's hard not to get frustrated when you're looking at this stuff. So I feel like some people were kind of a little negative. And then, like, one thing I'm just confused, like, because it's all opinion based here. And, like, one person said what was effective in the lesson, the ability to show us what a zone defense looks like and where each player should be. And then someone else said what was not effective, asking us if we know what zone defense is without explaining. So, I mean, that's why I'm just like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, kind of just a little confused. Because, yeah, I have one person saying I was able to show what a zone defense looks like and explain where each player should be, which is pretty much all that matters in a zone defense. You're guarding that zone. That's where you got to be. You're playing defense in that zone. If ball comes in that zone, that's what you're doing. So, yeah, I mean, everyone said I had a loud voice, which is good. Yeah, some people said I explained things well. They said that I explained the passes good. Yeah, someone said the lesson was effective in demonstrating the skills of zone defense, explaining rules to understand. So, yeah, I think a lot of people said my organization wasn't that good. I know my organization wasn't that good. Because I had to improvise, really know exactly what I was going to do. Yeah, the structure definitely could have been better for sure. And like someone said, like, not organized at all. Should have set equipment out prior. I mean, all I really had was just like basketball, so I don't really know how you could set out basketballs. They're gonna be rolling all over. I think we just had them. People grab them. So, instructions were unclear. I mean, I'm not really sure. I feel like my instructions were overall solid. Didn't explain zone defense purpose until after lesson. I feel like definitely could have had better skill cues, and definitely could have had better organization. That was the main things. But at the end of the day, you can't get frustrated about feedback. It's just feedback. Obviously some people are gonna agree and disagree. I definitely think, I think I was a little all over the place, and not to make excuses, but I think mainly it was just because before the lesson, I had an idea of what I was going to do, and then I came in like 5 minutes before. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Improvise, got that done. So, and then highlight common strengths and weaknesses observed in peers' teaching. Strengths, I think a lot of people use good skill cues. I think people were effective of showing certain skills. Most people use like a loud teacher voice. Made sure we're paying attention. Some people, they were kind of unclear with instructions for like weaknesses. I was a little confused just exactly what I was supposed to do with some lessons. Some lessons maybe like a little boring, I would say. Not to be like offensive at all, but some were just like, it just wasn't too into them. And as much as, you want your students to learn, you still got to have some fun. If you could, incorporate fun into learning, that's always really big. I think live play is always really important. I was able to use that in my lesson. Explain how you would apply the feedback. So what would I do differently teaching this lesson again? So if I went into it knowing what I was gonna do, just passing and zone defense. I would have started off with the passing, would have gave exact skill cues, had the students, do those passes, explain when you would use those passes and why. And then we would have got, and then I would explain the zone defense exactly, showed everyone where they would be, and then would have gotten to live play. If I saw something that was good, would have said that was really good, explain why it was good, and then if anyone did anything wrong, went over that. But I remember at the end I asked, do you guys feel as if you know how to play his own defense? And pretty much everyone said yeah. So overall, I think my lesson was solid. I definitely could have improved. At the end of the day, I have obviously some teaching experience, but I'm not a teacher yet. And hey, what do they say? Experience is the best teacher. So as I go on in my career, I'm going to get a lot more effective as a teacher, be able to improvise a lot better and stuff. So, yeah, but I feel like I really had to improvise here. I could definitely been more organized and been more ready for this lesson, but everything overall went solid. I think I went over everything. I just the feedback reflected on my teaching experience. So yeah, definitely could have done better, but overall I think I did a solid job. And just with some of the peer feedback, just a little confused on some people, as I said, they said explanation. Some people said explanation was good, and then some people said explanation was unclear. So it's just like I wish I could actually just ask people, well, what was it? Just so I could be better as a teacher in the future. But hey, you can't win them all. You can't win them all over. Am I right? So that's the way it goes. I think that's really it. All right, so thank you for watching. Have a good one.